Good morning, friends, particularly the new year students who are being taught about the TOTS, TORTS. Welcome to all of you. TOT is a civil wrong which is not a breach of contract or a breach of trust, and when the legal injury is caused, so it can be remedied by way of compensation in the shape of unliquidated damages as defined by Salman. And you know that according to section 2 within brackets N of the Limitation Act, tort is also defined as a civil wrong which is not exclusively a breach of trust or breach of contract. Our topic for today is the nature of torts. First of all, the judge as an advocate, you have to decide whether it is a tort or not. For this, there are two legal maxims, so both of them. So one reverses the other. That is, damnum sine injuria and injuria sine damnum. So damnum sine injuria. Damnum means damage. Sine means without. Injury means legal injury or infringement of right. So when there is a damage without any legal injury, then what happens? Is it a tort or not? Second point, injuria sine damnum. That means when there is an injury but without any damage. So your right has been infringed, but other side no damage has been done, nothing has happened. So then whether tort law applies or not. So first, tort law will not apply. Second, definitely it will apply. Right? Now, I will tell you certain case laws which are a very famous clause. Don't think that they are English case laws. They are applicable even till now as precedents. So first issue is damnum sine injuria. So damage, normally the damage may be monetary loss or loss of health, loss of services, then loss of comfort. So many things are there. So injury means infringement of the so-called human right or the legal right. So here please remember, there is a damage but legal injury is not there, then it is not a tort. Right? Nature of tort. Damnum sine injuria, no tort. So the best example is Gloucester Grammar School. It happened in the year 1410. So Mr. Y.B. Hill was the judge. Anyway, a school was started by some principal and some teachers. So later, some differences arose between the teachers, and one of the teachers left the school and he has started another school right in front of the school. So some of the students known to him, they have joined the school slowly. The number of the other school increased. Even though the previous school people reduced the free structure, but still people are not there. Slowly they are flocking to the other side, and the strength has been lessened. That means monetary loss is here. Now this man has filed a case, but the House of Lords or court said, no, we can't help because legally he is entitled. Whoever pays, whoever strictly adheres to the principles of the rules of education, he can start any education institution with the permission given by the department. So there is no legal injury. So therefore, it is not a tort. We cannot give you compensation. Similar is the case with Mughal Steamship Co. versus MacGregor Gow and Company. So it is 1892. It has also happened at that. It actually happened in Kolkata. What happened is this Mughal Steamship Co. They were very popular in loading and are their transport contractors, and they used to dominate the entire area from the port, loading, unloading. They used to fix the prices. That's all. They have dominated the entire thing. But Britishers, divide and rule policy. Ultimately, another company from Britain, MacGregor Gow and Co. They have started the company and they have lessened the rates for loading and unloading. Normally, the contractors or the lorry people or the union people, they have gone to the other company, that is MacGregor Gow and Co. So then they have sustained heavy monetary loss. They said that we are the people in the field right from the initial days. Now these people have come and lessened the rates, and therefore our business has been damaged. So please try to help us. They filed a petition in the court, but it was not taken as a tort because They have followed the rules. Okay, it is their prerogative whether to enhance the rates or reduce the rates. Normally, the government will fix certain rate. So if you want to give it for lesser rate, everybody will come to you, and the government will also not object. So therefore, no legal injury. And then is it Town Area Committee versus Prabhudayal, 1975. Right, Mr. Prabhudayal constructed house. All of us will be doing the same thing. He constructed a house. Right, this house was against the municipal norms and rules. Ultimately, they have given a notice to him. He did not care. On one day, they came and demolished the building. So therefore, he sustained heavy loss. Construction charges, so much of loss happened. Then he filed a case of tort against the municipal town area committee, but the court did not agree because he has himself flouted the law. He is a wrongdoer. Secondly, the government is authorized to destruct or to demolish the illegal constructions. So definitely, even though you suffered the damage, legally they are correct. Legally, no injury is there. There is a damage, but no legal injury. Therefore, we are not accepting your case. Like that. Second point, let's come to injuria sine damnum. There is legal injury, but of course, no damage is there. So here, definitely, it is a tort. Now let's discuss the cases. So here, please remember, the plaintiff need not prove that the damage is there or is not there. Whether damage is there or not there, not necessary. Only if your legal right infringed, any loss or damage by the wrongful act of the other person, that is the defendant, is occurred, definitely it is actionable per se. That means you can take action. Right? If you go through certain case laws, it will be easy for you to understand. The very famous case law is Ashby versus White. Ashby versus White, it happened in 1073. So this is a case where a rejection of voters' right to vote. This case you can read under the heading. So Mr. Ashby, the plaintiff, was a qualified voter. He wanted to vote in an election, in a parliamentary election what they have returned. Right? The defendant, Mr. White, he was the returning officer. He has wrongfully refused the plaintiff to cast his vote. Right? So some challenge vote, all these things have gone. Ultimately, in fact, the results have also come. So the person whom our plaintiff wanted to win, he came out successful in the elections. No problem, no damage. But still he filed the case. Then the court held that even though his candidate, even though no actual damage was caused, but his right to exercise the adult franchise was injured, was infringed. Therefore, since the right is legal injury is there, yes, the returning officer has to pay compensation. The second famous case law is Bhim Singh versus State of Jammu and Kashmir, 1986. So you may be knowing, Jammu and Kashmir. Bhim Singh was an MLA of Jammu and Kashmir state. So on one day, he was going to attend the assembly. En route, he was picked up by the police. He was detained under the PD Act. And ultimately, of course, the review committee, all these things, they have taken place. Now, the matter went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court held that you cannot arrest an MLA while the assembly is going on. It is the fundamental right of the MLA to ventilate or to air out the grievances of the people of your area in the assembly. Right to freedom, right to expression. When you go to Article 90 of the Constitution, we'll be discussing more about this. So he's got right to express his opinion or express the feelings of the people or grievance of the people. You could not stop him. That too when the assembly is going on. Second, even though arrested him, you have to intimate the Speaker of the Assembly, which you did not do. Therefore, the police have flouted that they have caused legal injury. No doubt, the argument of the Jammu and Kashmir court is that the Assembly did not stop for the sake of one MLA, and his grievance, even though he has got some grievances, he can tell them in the next session of the Assembly, for which the Supreme Court did not agree. So definitely they have asked, granted, court held that the government was liable to pay compensation and granted compensation to a whooping amount of 50,000. Nowadays you can. So likewise, so many issues will be there. So Bhim Singh case is another very good case, right? So please go through these cases and enrich your legal knowledge. We'll discuss in class in detail tomorrow. Thank you.